Hi, second grade. Hopefully on the Padlet page you watched the short little video I posted about the artist that we're going to be starting today named Grant Wood. Grant Wood is an American artist, and he was someone that focused on what is called regionalism. So regionalism is an artist that focuses on the people and the places that they live in. So he was someone that was very influenced by the people of Iowa where he lived. So lots of farmland, things that he lived around, okay? And so today we're gonna be focusing on his picture, American Gothic. This was painted in 1930. He actually won a prize for this painting, and it's actually used in a lot of different advertising ways. So I have noticed that this gentleman who was Grant Wood's dentist, I've seen pictures where he's been holding a cell phone for Verizon. One year when we were having a windstorm, they had them getting all blown in the wind. So it's used in a lot of different ways. I think someone even mentioned this painting was in like a cartoon before. So it is very, very well known. So today what I want to talk about is not only this painting, but how could we change it to a different community? So part of second grade, you talk about 3 different communities. You talk about an urban community, which is going to be a city, a suburban community, very much where we live, okay, outside of a city, and then a rural community, which would be more in the country. So when we look at Grant Wood's American Gothic, we can tell that this is an American farmhouse. It does have this unique window called a Gothic window. That's where it got its name, Gothic window, American house, so American Gothic. We do notice a barn, some trees, and even the way the dentist and Nan, Grant Wood's sister, are dressed. So he's holding a pitchfork. They're dressed more in like overalls. They look like they're doing some farm work. So this is very, very characteristic of what a rural community during the 1930s would dress like, okay? So if I were to see someone walking down my street holding a pitchfork, it might make me question what is going on, because it's not commonly seen. If someone had maybe a shovel or a rake, that would make a little more sense, because in our yards we might be doing some digging or raking leaves, but a pitchfork is used for hay. So that makes me know they must be in a rural community. They are doing some farm work. So let's think, if we had these individuals, what might change if I put them in New York City? What would change if they came to my neighborhood? Okay, so even the way they're dressed, I want you to think about that today, because we're gonna go ahead and draw the dentist, draw Nan together, and then you're gonna put on clothes depending on what community. Do you want them in a city? Do you want them in your neighborhood, or do you want them to remain out in the country? Okay, so in your packet, I asked your teacher to send home a manila paper. The reason I chose this color is I felt like it was very close to their skin color, so we actually don't have to color the skin later on, but it's also a nice thick piece of paper. So the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a border all the way around my paper. I like creating a border because it creates almost like this little picture frame for our work, and also when we go and add color later on, it won't smear and go on top of it. All right, so the dentist is on the right-hand side of my paper, and Nan is on the left. So I'm gonna be thinking about making them very, very big. They are the main subject, okay, with the house behind them. So they're in the front of my picture. I don't see legs. I only see the dentist's arm, okay? So those are things that I'm going to think about. So to start on my picture, I'm gonna draw really nice and big over here. I'm going to start with a U shape for my dentist's face, all right? On the top, I'm gonna go ahead and make the top of his head connecting and make the ears. Now, if you look at the dentist, he does not have a ton of hair. It does look like he's losing some of it. It's a little on the side, but not a lot up on the top. So I am going to draw just the side of his hair. Okay, I'm now going to think about his eyes. 1, 2, they're kind of that football shape. I'm gonna draw the big circle, that's the colored part of his eye, that's called the iris. The pupil, all right? For his nose, I'm going to create kind of that L shape for his nose. And when you look at him, I don't see teeth. I don't even see a big smile. He is very, very serious. So I'm going to draw the top of his lip, the bottom of his lip, and the middle. All right. Something that is very, very, very noticeable is he's wearing glasses, and they are circular. So I'm going to go 1 circle, 2 circle, and I can put them connecting. All right, so this is the start of my dentist. Now I'm going to draw his neck and 1 shoulder going right to the side of my border. And then this arm is bent. So I am going to start coming down and then thinking about his bend in his arm, the sleeve of his jacket, and I'm going to make his wrist. Now, if I'm holding something, like if I'm holding my Sharpie, it's almost like I have ovals. Okay, I don't see my hands like this holding it. Okay, it's holding it like this. So I like to come in here and go 1, 2, 3, 4. His thumb, okay, would more be behind. I'm going to leave this and I'm going to let this just be, because I'm going to think about what will he hold in his hand when I start working, and I can also create the bottom of his jacket. All right, so let's go on to Nan. Now, if you look at Nan, Nan's shoulder is right behind the dentist. We don't see part of her shoulder, it's behind him. But the same thing, she's a little bit shorter, so I'm gonna bring Nan just a little bit down. Now, both of her shoulders are going to be cut off. So same thing, I'm gonna make a U shape for the head. Now, Nan's a little different because she does have her hair pulled back. So what I like to do here is I like to create that part and bring it over to one side, bring it over to the other, and then bring her hair around. Okay, so there's Nan's hair. I'm gonna actually put her ear in there. I kind of missed her ear, but she does have this teeny little curl hanging down. So I'm gonna come over here, put her little curl, draw her neck, 1 shoulder right to the dentist, 1 shoulder right to the side of my paper. Now, a couple things. When I look at Nan, she's not looking at me. She's actually looking to something over here. So that is going to be important when I do her eyes. So there's her eyes, but instead of looking straight, her eyes are looking to the side. Something is happening over here. All right. I'm going to make her nose kind of like a J. And once again, very serious. No smiles. Okay. She does have eyebrows. I forgot the dentist eyebrows too, so I can do his as well. His are a little bit thicker. Hers are a little thinner. Okay. So now this is this part for today. Is I want you to watch the video. I want you to draw your dentist and Nan. You can rewind, you can stop, you can pause. That's the great thing about the video. But as you are drawing, I want you to think about what kind of community. I'm going to imagine that my dentist and Nan, they're going to the city. I'm going to take them on a little trip to the city. So how would they be dressed? Well, I am thinking that even when we have gone to the city before, we a lot of times will wear a coat because you never know what the weather's like. So I'm going to make sure my dentist has a jacket, and I could put some buttons on it. Okay, have a t-shirt underneath. Okay, there he is. What would he hold in his hand if he was in a city? Maybe an umbrella, maybe some money, maybe a cup of coffee, okay? Maybe he had to get a soda. So I'm gonna give him a little drink here, like he's having a soda. He had to get a refreshment. Nan, how would she dress? Same thing. I'm actually gonna put Nan in a cardigan here. So she has a t-shirt and a cardigan. Maybe she has a necklace on. Okay, they're sightseeing. So once you think about their clothes, All right, then you can start brainstorming. What would be behind them? Well, if I went to a city, I'm going to see buildings. I'm going to see skyscrapers. I'm going to see maybe taxi cars. All right, so you can think about what they would see in a different kind of community. Now, something I am going to sneak onto my paper today is I'm going to sneak one Gothic window in here. So I'm thinking right behind here, behind the dentist's head, I'm going to tuck a Gothic window in there. Okay, so I want you to enjoy creating and making and building. If you do buildings, maybe they're at your house, maybe they're walking the neighborhood, maybe they're watering the grass. Okay, lots of different options. You can even think about the time of day. All right, so I want you to enjoy this process. I will show you a couple examples, but we're going to be coming back in the upcoming weeks where we will be adding color. All right, but for today, really just focus on the dentist and Nan. Think about their clothing. If you want to start the background, you can, but wait to add color for later. All right, so I hope you enjoy and make some really fun connections with the dentist and Nan and Grant Wood's American Gothic. All right, boys and girls, have a great day. Bye-bye.